Welcome to Right Way with Amanda George. It's been awesome working with you as parents and helping to make sure that you train teenagers and young adults and teenagers right. Okay, so I am a life coach, counselor, and mentor. I work with tweens, teens, and young adults, and I work with their parents also to make sure that we raise teenagers with the right mindset and life skills to be able to succeed as adults. Today, we're going to be taking an interesting topic, which is leadership for young people. And I'm not doing this alone today. I am really excited to have with me Pastor Afolabi. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Nice to have you. Pastor Afolabi Olabanji is a teacher and life coach. He's been working with tweens and teens for up to 20 years. So there's a lot of experience here. And he's going to be talking to you guys about leadership and how to lead as a young person. So without much ado, I'm going to turn to him and tell me about yourself a little. Tell us about yourself.
Okay, once again, good day everyone. I'm glad to be on your show, Pastor Amanda.
Thank you.
I call out Pastor Amanda. Of course, some of the things we do, the perception of what a pastor or who a pastor is has been bastardized, but as long as you are shepherding people, you're pastoring them.
Sure.
I'm excited about what you do because this is a stage in the formation of life that is very interesting and also very delicate.
Sure.
Most of the time, if people get it wrong at this stage, for me it's a fundamental stage that looks like a foundation. Once it's gotten right, there's a critical problem. So each time I follow you on social media, see a lot of things you're doing, my heart is glad that somebody is taking on this sphere of influence and trying to reshape, remodel our young people. I'd like to say a very big thank you to you for doing this much.
Thank you so
much.
much.
About me, I'm just the very simple self. I'm a husband of one wife. I think I said this earlier.
Yeah, they got me cracking.
You know, I have two amazing kids, and I've been privileged to work with teenagers over the years. My area of passion is life development.
Okay.
I believe that if we have, I learned from my mentor, and it's in the public domain. You don't force a child to grow.
Sure.
When you put in the right nutrient into any human being, they naturally grow.
Sure.
It is when there are defects in the nutrients that we take in that stunts our growth. So when there's a defect or a deficiency in some nutrients that we should take in, it affects our growth. The same with life. If the aggregate of the nutrients that should make you have an excellent life development is put into you, you will naturally have a systemic growth.
Absolutely true.
So what we are doing today is to ensure, to do our bit to ensure that each and every people in this sphere of influence have the desired requisition for growth.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and it is one of the strong points that we have at Right Way, because we want to make sure that the young people have everything that they need to grow and become successful as adults. Okay, so let's get into this leadership thing.
Great.
Truly, who is a leader?
Oh, okay, it's a dicey question. Check it from me, everybody is a leader. Let's begin from there.
Okay.
Everybody is a leader.
Okay.
And I can say again that everything that God creates is leading.
Okay.
If you look at the chair, a chair can lead you. If you look at the flower, a flower can lead you. If you look at the sun can lead you. Everything that God creates, one way or the other, leads. Again, every human being leads. If you have a little child, and the little child wants to lead you from the sitting room where you are to where he or she is in the room, all he or she needs is to find a way to influence you to come to her. So one of the ways a little child does that is to cry. So when the child cries, you know that the child is asking for something or wants something or requires something, and you go in that direction. The child is leading you to himself or herself. So everyone God creates is leading. Of course, there are dictionary or contemporary definition of a leader. So a leader is one who has a vision of a future and who is able to cast this vision, relate this vision with a group of people who then follow through with him to that destination. So anyone who has a vision of the future, and this future, sometimes we are, as young people, we just feel that we are not leaders because of this kind of definition. If you think that there is something worthwhile you can do tomorrow, and you are able to convince any other person to follow you to do that particular thing tomorrow, tomorrow is a future of today.
Awesome.
You are also a leader.
Awesome. Absolutely interesting, because in the end I had another question, but you have answered the two questions in one without my even asking, because I was going to ask, so can a young person be a leader? But you have, answered that very clearly. So I'm going to then ask, what are some qualities that are required for leadership?
Great. That also scares us a lot because it puts a sense of responsibility on every individual. But can I quickly say that, again, like I said, everybody is leading. Even though some of us don't agree that we are leading. This is what I know. You are either leading forward or you are leading backward.
Okay.
You are either leading people forward, right way, or you are influencing people in negative ways. A notable author in leadership says leadership is influence. Now, if leadership is influence, if you are influencing people and your influence is allowing them to grow, is allowing them to make progress, is allowing them to move forward one step at a time away from where they are to another point, leadership is the ability to move a people from a point A to a desirable point B over a period of time. So you are leading. Either you have the title, either you have the office, either you have the name or the tag of leader or anything, you are leading. That consciousness must come into every one of us. From childhood, you started leading as a child till the time you are here. People get pregnant and then you see that their hormone changes. The child wants something, and then the child with your body system makes you crave for that thing. The body system begins. So that in itself is influence. So leadership is influence. Great. Now, so if you're looking at certain qualities of leadership, there are tons of qualities a leader must have. But at the level we are, at the phase that we are, I say to people, I learned this also from a mentor, the life is in phases, men are in sizes. At the phase of leadership that you are, you may not necessarily rush to put into your basket every quality of a leader. But one of the predominant qualities of leadership is teachable. You have to be teachable. You have to be open to be taught, to learn. You have to be teachable. A leader must be ready to be taught.
I like that you said that. Let me cut you a bit, because working with young people, I'm sure you must have recognized that a lot of them believe that they know everything, and so it's not important. In fact, we are old school, we don't know much. So I think you should talk a little more about being
honestly, we were all at that level.
I agree.
At the point where you just want a sense of independence, and then you think that you have known enough to live your life. But the reality is, you don't know as much as you need to know to move to the next level. People that have been placed ahead of you are placed ahead of you for reasons. So one of the ways you cement your leadership capacity and capability is being open to learn. And of course, when we say being open to learn, I'm also going to then say, as the name of your organization is, learn the right way from the right person at the right time. So there is timing for learning, there is place for learning, there is a person or a people who you will open and submit to learn. Now, in the quest for some people getting to learn in leadership, we fall into wrong hands.
Sure.
Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, these responsibilities, while I don't try to take on more responsibilities that I am required to take on, remember when we started, I said, the life is in phases, men and in sizes. There are responsibilities for your phase.
True.
Take them on. One of those responsibilities is the ability to lead your siblings if you have one. That's leadership. That's leadership. Some of us are leaders if you are still an undergraduate student or if you are even in secondary school. Some of us are given positions as class rep. That's leadership. That place is positioning you to lead people. You set a timetable for them, you get their assignment together, ensure it gets to the class teacher, you ensure that the number of papers of sheet you took to the class teacher is what you're returning back. You are responsible to getting everybody to get their papers back after the exam and all of that. That's preparing you for something. And then you move from that phase and go to the institution and possibly you are spotted and you became. Most of the time, most people who led when they are in secondary school, some way, somehow, you find them as part of the people who are forthcoming and open when they get into their institution. For some people, it's a new set of breed. But for some others, you take it on. You find out, I was a class rep when I was in secondary school, and you find out he's a class rep or he's an SCG president. Those are aspects and areas of leadership. But I'm saying those ones are even leadership spaces where title is conferred. But I'm saying without title, you can lead a pack of people. No title, nothing. You're just living your life as someone wants to be like you. Someone wants to talk the way you talk, act the way you act, and a number of other things like that. But as I said all of these things, I must say something very critical. The fact that the most important leadership is self-leadership.
True.
If you're unable to lead yourself well, it will be difficult for you to lead others. Don't forget, the picture of leadership people have is someone who is in front, who is ahead, who is leading other people. Now, of course, we have known today that as a leader, you don't have to lead from the front if you don't want to lead from the front. It depends on your style of leadership. However, people want to look up to you. So you must be one notch ahead. I remember growing up, I read a lot of books. Whole lot of books. I just want to stir my ignorance. And so I read books on leadership, book on capacity building, I read novels, I read a couple of things that helped me to grow over a period of time. I encourage young people who are listening to us to read. I remember in those days they said leaders are readers.
Yeah.
Right? Read. Starve your ignorances. Read on areas and aspects of life that you want to gain an advantage. My pastor will say, I am not the same today as I was yesterday. That's Pastor Tony Raphael. He says, each day I try to add to what I know today, so that when I wake up tomorrow, I am not the same that you met. Right? So if you meet me today and I give you a bill on a job, if you meet me tomorrow, I can increase it. If you ask me why, I'll tell you what I know yesterday. I know better now today. I know something different that you don't know what I know yesterday. So as a leader, a potential leader, you must aspire to grow.
Okay, so in this phase where we have the social media, TV series and all of that, and you're asking young people to read, statistics show that reading has actually dropped. Okay, so how?
Honestly, it's more difficult. It's more difficult. Attention span has reduced. Before, I remember it used to be about 13 minutes. If I was still correct with the statistics, it used to be about 13 minutes. If you're in a hall or an audience and the people are listening to you, the first 13 minutes they could still find a handle of what you're saying. After that, it's Today it's no longer 13.
True.
While I don't have the right statistics, I'm not sure it's up to 3. Especially in the days where we have smartphones, Then, when I said I used to read, I read hard copies. Today, hard copies fading out. Now, while you are trying to read on your phone, a call can come through. While you are trying to read on your phone, your social media notification can pop up. All of these things can create a distraction. Social media is good. but it can be a major distraction. It has been a major distraction for young people.
Sure.
Now, as a young person who is going somewhere, you cannot afford to spend all your time on the social media space, not doing anything meaningful that is adding to your journey. Okay, so while this can cause a distraction, young people, have also used social media as a tool to advance their leadership course.
Absolutely.
There were a lot of leadership materials, there were a lot of capacity building materials, there were a lot of success materials. While I don't subscribe to getting anything and everything so you don't get junks and be overly fed with materials that are not necessary, I also feel that there are certain guided materials on social media where you can, as a young person, take up courses. Coursera is there, you can take up course. Udemy is there, you can take up course. These are free courses. All it's going to cost you is data. And you have this data to go on Facebook, you have this data to go on Instagram, you have this data to surf the net. So you can convert this data. You have the same data to watch Netflix, watch movies and stay there 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours. Instead of that, because you have a place you are going, convert it. Convert it, because today is the tomorrow you are waiting for yesterday.
Okay, so I mean, we've talked a lot about leadership, how, the qualities a leader should have and all of that. But why? Why would a young person not just go through life and just, be easy? Why would we want to lead?
Okay, why do I want to lead?
Yeah.
Why will anybody want to lead? You are created a leader. You are designed to lead. Either you accept the responsibility of leadership or not, like I mentioned earlier, you are leading. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the world is waiting. I am very absolutely sure that majority of the people listening to us right now are angry about a phase of life, the way the government is, the way the things are being done on the street, the fact that you turn left and right and there is pothole here, the fact that school is on a shutdown, the fact that ASU is on strike today and tomorrow they are back and next tomorrow, and it's affecting you. I am very sure that each and every one, most of the people watching, are dissatisfied with most of these things. Now, there are two things there. There is good news, there is bad news. Good news is that God is concerned and He wants to help you, right? The bad news is He's not going to come down from heaven to come and fix the road. Neither is He going to come down from heaven to come and turn Hasu's head and make it right. God will use people. I remember, of course, foundationally in the Bible where God is saying, who shall we send? Who will go for us? Consistently, God is looking for hands. People who will be, because see, it rises and falls on leadership. If things are going to work, we must have right perception of leadership, not the crops of leaders that we just want to get to occupy space. The problem is, we assume that a set of people are leaders, right? And we are followers.
True.
The point where the perception changes and we know we are all leaders, but we have a representative in the path who is giving direction to every one of us. It will make me play my part and make you play your part and make him play his part. When each and every one of us play our part, we will eventually be leaders who we want to be, not necessarily with titles. I'm stressing this because when you talk about leaders, someone wants to be a president. But there are people who are not presidents, but what they are influencing. Dangote is not a president.
True.
The last I heard of him, he said he doesn't want to mix himself with politics, even though we might say that there are subtle political play and all of that. But he's a man of influence. He's a businessman.
True.
So you can be a leader in your area of business, right?
So in other words, for a young person listening to us out there, there's a lot of opportunity where you can step in and make something right or help a cause or do something if you will just be responsible and take the action that is required to be able to.
Certainly. I remember when I was in the university, I just found out that the leadership structure in that park wasn't the way I would want it to be.
Okay.
You know, and I was just one of the leadership in the community. I was one of the leaders in the community, and I kept thinking, how do we get this better? How do we? There was no synergy. So leaders on campus weren't able to achieve much. I kept thinking, I kept brooding, I kept thinking, and one of the days I sat down in my dorm and then I picked up a pen and a paper and I started scribbling ways to get the leadership community in the entire campus of over 5,000 people right. And what I did was to write a proposal for the then president who was on campus. I wrote a proposal. The leadership community is not together. We have the secular leaders. It was a Christian university. We have a secular leadership community, the people that were leading the student, the SUG government, the class reps, and all of those. We have the people that led fellowships and groups. But each time, these guys are at loggerhead. There were no synergy. And I felt we will not achieve much if we are going to be able to pass something to the administration in this school, to the vice chancellor, to the governing council about the welfare of the student. We must be united. So I put up a proposal and I wrote to the president then, and then I told him we need to merge, we need to come together. Our heart needs to, we need to be speaking one language as leaders. We are about the same cause, so we can't be divided. Having written this proposal, he looked at it and smiled and told me, Folabi, you need to come and handle this. you wrote it, so come and handle it. I didn't write it to handle it. But he felt, if you can see it, you should be able to do it. It means that there is a gap there. Now, he allowed me to, and so what we did was to institutionalize what we then called Committee of Presidents. Now, a forum where all the leaders on that community comes together and had a unified mind as to how to develop the people on campus, such that when I am talking and you are talking to the governing council or the leadership of the school, we have one language. It was difficult for them to break us at that point. Awesome. The things that we want, I had a nudging in my heart. I felt I have the ability to write and send it across. Just watch it. I wasn't ready to overturn somebody that is there. I wasn't murmuring to bring the person down, because what we do today is we murmur about things that is not right, but the ones you know to do that is right, you are doing nothing about it.
True.
So you are not qualified to murmur or to correct something that you are not ready to step up to and correct if you have the opportunity to do.
Amazing, amazing. If you're just joining us, this is Right Way with Amanda George, and with me is Pastor Afolabi, and we've been talking greatly about leadership and how you as a young person can step up and take up the responsibility, because it all rises and falls on leadership. Okay, so thank you so much for coming. It's really like enlightening. So if you were to, if there was a young person, just pretend that there's one young person standing here.
Right.
What's the one thing that you want this person to do that you know that this can guide him or her to go far?
Okay, for that one person that is watching and it's this, today is the tomorrow you are waiting for yesterday.
Awesome.
Today is the tomorrow you are waiting for yesterday. Why did I say that? I say that to say, don't procrastinate. Live today. I'm not saying you're going to die tomorrow, but I'm saying you're going to grow old. And when you grow old, you leave phases. This is what we don't know. Every phase avails us opportunity to lead. When you lead that phase, when you leave that phase, you are moving to another phase. If you have not led in this, I can go back to the university to go and lead there, as it were. I may not have the right effect. I may not have, at that point I was in the community. I was a part of the people. I'm privileged to information. I was at that phase. I have moved from that phase. I'm in another phase. So while I say life is in phases, men are in sizes, I say today is the tomorrow you are waiting for yesterday. So don't procrastinate. If there's an opportunity for you to lead now, lead now.
Awesome.
Lead right now. We are not leaders of tomorrow. That's what we've been told. We are not leaders of tomorrow. We are leaders right now. You can lead where you are. You can lead somebody out of trouble. You can lead somebody into success. You can lead your own life into the right space. Lead right now. Don't wait. I'll do it when I'm 20. I'll do it when I'm 25. I'll do it by the time I'm 40. I'll do it. The time is going, and then opportunities being lost, and then you are not the same yesterday that you are today, even though you had value. But sometimes the shoe size you wore last year may not be the shoe size you're wearing now. So you need to just adjust and start leading now. Lead with your brother. Lead with your siblings. Lead amidst your friends. Find a way to influence positively the people in the circle of your influence. When you begin to do that, one chain today, another chain tomorrow, it becomes a trickle. Before you know it, the entire sphere of influences have been taken over. And I know that we are much in number in this age than the other bracket that is available.
That's absolutely
We are much in number in this age.
That's absolutely true and right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
I'm delighted that you were here, and I'm sure that the young people out there have learned something. I have learned something, and I want to reiterate it. He said, lead now. That means that wherever you are right now, you have the potential, the capacity to be able to do something right that will lead you or somebody else out of a situation or phase or whatever it is. So you can do something. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for next year. Just go ahead and do something now that is right and can lead you and leave you with skills and ability that you can use for the future. So until I come your way again, my name is Amanda George, and I am delighted to be doing this every time that I get the opportunity. Take care of yourself and lead now. Goodbye.
Add it up.